so you've seen the trailer for Aghori. Now, thing about artists and people who generally sit behind a screen is that they are extremely worried about talking in front of a large group of people. They are more comfortable giving orders to people who are working for them, like he does, and to talk to people one at a time. If you go to a stall, he'll talk to you a lot. So before I get him to talk or say anything, can we give him a big warm round of applause so that he feels comfortable to come up on stage?
Thank you.
Vivek, come. So Vivek and I have known each other for a very long time, and like I said, he's got a fabulous company. Their stall is out there. You can go and meet him, get your books signed by him. But before we do any of that, let's find out a little bit about the books that these guys have been doing. They had a fabulous series called Ravanayan. How many of you have checked out Ravanayan? I want to see more hands in Comic Con 2015, okay? But so the people who've not seen Ravanayan, you can go and check it out at his stall. But finally, first tell us a little bit. Finally, Ravanayan has completed. The storyline is over. Finale is out. The second book is out. I say the second book because there were 8 books in the series, and this is the finale number 2. And there you can see the cover for this has been done by.
It's been done by India's #1 comic book artist. He goes by the name of Mukesh Singh, and he is the only Indian artist to have broken into Marvel Comics at this point of time, and is currently working with Marvel Comics. I mean, the way Ravanayan has been progressing. So let me tell you something about Ravanayan because I'm seeing a lot of new faces over here. So this is Ramayana from Ravan's point of view. What kind of a man he was, what kind of a person he was before he abducted Devi Sita. Did you know that Ravan was the great grandson of Lord Brahma himself? Brahma had 9 mind bonds. One of them was Pulatsya. Pulatsya had a son Visharva. Visharva was Ravan's father. A perfect hybrid between a sage and a demoness. His birth had a purpose, and he almost acquired that purpose by unifying all the scattered Rakshasa nations under one iron hand rule. It is said that in his reign, Lanka was literally made of gold. Even the houses had, even the poorest of the household had the utensils of gold, and hunger was virtually unknown. He almost acquired that goal of unifying all the scattered Rakshasa nations under one iron hand rule, and then something goes horribly wrong. And that is not the abduction of Sita. Something happened way before that, and I'm so not going to tell you what. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Ravanayan Finale Part 2. Ravanayan finally has completed this series, this epic saga, written by Vijendra Mohanty and drawn by me, has taken more than 2 years of my illustrating life. I have given whatever I had for this 76-page finale. For the first time in your lives, you will find the true power of Ravan, the pure Kshatriya skills of Ram, and the brute strength of Hanuman. Do you know that Hanuman had heat vision, just like our plain old Superman? I can prove that. Go through Valmiki Ramayana, Adhyay 3 Yuddhakand, and you will see Valmiki Ramayana is the most authentic source of Ramayana. Hanuman had heat vision. How many of you have seen The Incredible Hulk? Yes, everyone? Okay. How many of you have you seen his thunderclap? Do you know that Hanuman can do that as well? And it is written in that text. So it is all true. It's all there in our myth, and it's all shown literally in this book. Hanuman goes toe to toe with Ravan for more than 11 pages. So it's like Hulk versus Abomination and something like that. So Ravanayan for you.
Thank you. You see, we had to use Marvel analogies to get you guys excited about the book. Go and buy the book, and then you'll realize that we've had a superhero just as powerful, just as big as Superman or Hulk. Once again, can we give a big round of applause for Ravanayan? And be nice. Come on. Thank you.
I love you all.
Alright, so now that Ravanayan is over, there was another storyline which was running parallelly in a different title for which you've just seen the trailer, which is Aghori. So tell me a little bit about Aghori. The first storyline completed, which was 8 parts but released as 4 books, which was the Aghori origin storyline. So tell me a little bit about it.
Apparently, this is the most powerful platform, and this is the only platform on which Aghori can be talked about, because Aghori Book 1 got launched in 2012 in Mumbai Comic Con. Aghori Book 1. This Comic Con saw the record-breaking sales of more than 650 copies in 3 days. Sorry, it was 2 days at the Comic Con. Aghori Book 1. So Aghori is all about a journey of a man in order to find his missing son, and how exactly in that journey he encounters a lot of supernatural things happening to him. And to counter that, he's forced to take up the practice of powers of Aghora. So this is the
for those of the people in here who may not know what exactly is an Aghora. Why Aghori? How did that come about?
On one fine day in probably 2011 Mumbai
Time
Comic
long
Con.
ago, okay.
2011, yes, approximately 2.5 years ago. A very brilliant upcoming writer called as Ram V. He approached me with the series called as Aghori. He pitched me Aghori, and I said, okay, let's have a cup of coffee and a cup of coffee and let's talk about Aghori. That guy was more than prepared. He had all the scripts written in proper 8 parts, and I was way impressed. He boss, kuch baat to hai, if he's so prepared, then maybe we should give it a shot. And you see, we were almost on the verge of completing Ravanayan, and I just didn't wanted my company to be tagged or stereotyped as the publisher who publishes only mythological stories. We were already in talks with a lot of guys to do some IP, some characters which exist in current timeline, and then out of the blues, this guy Ramvi appears, and we decided to take this Aghori on to the comic publishing platform, because just like Ravanayan, there is virtually nothing known of Aghoris. The only 2 things which are known of Aghoris is that they don't take regular baths, there's no personal correction to hygiene, and they eat dead bodies. But how many of you know that eating dead bodies and not taking regular bath is just 2 of 12 kriyas which you have to undergo in order to become a successful Aghori? That is all there in the first Aghori arc, which is called as Origin, which got completed last year. So Aghori is India's answer to John Constantine. To conclude,
Again, we give an analogy just to get all of you fans of international comics interested in Indian comics. I'm hoping that, like I said, in 2015 there will be a lot more people screaming and shouting for Aghori book, whatever 15 that will be released by that time. And we will not have to give international analogies. We can explain, oh, like Aghori, there's another comic book released by DC Comics or Marvel. So let's give a big round of applause for Vivek Goyal and Aghori.
and then something amazing happened. Once we completed Aghori Origins, the series Aghori got nominated in the category of Best Series of the Year twice in a row for 2012 and 2011. And as a natural progression, when we saw how well Aghori series is going, we decided to keep it ongoing. And we introduced a second arc called as Aghori Bloodlines, of which we have released 4 books. Aghori Bloodline issue 12 is getting launched today. So ladies and gentlemen, Miri Joshi gives you Aghori issue 12. Aghori issue 12. So Aghori, after completing its origin, we take a leap of like 6 years, and we had to find a proper nemesis for a hero, for an anti-hero like Aghori. So the writer came in with another pitch, and he introduced someone called as a Hashashi. Now, almost all of you have heard the word assassin, right? The ancient word of assassin, assassin got derived from a word called as Hashashi, which means assassin in Persian, in Iranian language. So Persia gave the world the first assassins. So we introduced our arch nemesis of Aghori called as a Hashashi, and for the first time we have dedicated one complete issue called as Aghori issue 11, and we have ventured into the villain's journey. We have dug deep into the root of the villain, what happened, how exactly he became a villain. We are almost on the verge of completing Aghori Bloodlines, and it gets completed by issue 13, which will be launched in Feb 2015.
So I read the first 4 parts which you are seeing here on screen yesterday, and I have to tell you, irrespective of whether this comic was written and drawn by an Indian team, this is without a doubt one of the best storylines I've heard. I completely recommend it to you guys, and you can go and not only get the books from the Holy Cow store, but also have them personally signed by him. How many of you have a signed book by Vivek Goyal right now? Raise your hands. Come on, I want to see a few more hands up in the air. lie if you have not got it signed, and then get it signed right now so that you are not lying anymore. Alright, I want to see a lot more people going and visiting him at his stall. Vivek, congratulations on getting Agori Book 12 out. It's been, on a personal note, I got to say this, Vivek and I go back a long, long way before Holy Cow Comics actually began. The comics club that our anchor mentioned about, he was one of the original members of that comics club, and it's incredible to see how Holy Cow Entertainment has really, really grown. If you guys want to know a little bit more about the comics club, just look either of us up online and we'll get you on it. Talk about comics, buy comics, and support Indian comics is what I always say. Let's give a big round of applause for my friend Vivek Goyal. Come on, get ready. Thank you very, very much. Hey, another thing, I want to say a big thanks to Comic Con for not only inviting me here today, but in the evening for the show that I talked about, the MJ show, I'm going to have Mark Gatiss coming on my show, and you can watch him in an exclusive interview with me on my show very, very soon. But before I get off stage, what is the next thing for Holy Cow Entertainment? Tell us quickly.
Thank you for this question. Yes, Agori Bloodlines, as I said, with issue 13 is going to end in Feb 2013. Now, coming from a small press, it gives us a lot of restrictions. We can't go monthly. Holy Cow has formed a standard publishing schedule. We come out every second month with 32-page standard comic book, completing all our story arcs and then moving ahead. So there are big plans ahead. In 2015, we are launching 3 more flagship characters. Agori will take a halt in Feb, and then 3 new flagship characters will continue. They have to come because something big is happening, but something big is going to happen, or something big is coming by the end of 2016, when Agori will be back with a 3rd story arc called as Agori the Age of Immortals, which is going to be a massive 18-issue arc of Agori, the Age of Immortals. But for that, in order to fight that, Agori will need a lot of people. For that, we'll be taking a break on Agori, and in 2015 and 16 we will be introducing a lot of characters, and then Agori will come back to gather all these people to counter that thing. Did I mention the team book? Did I?
Yeah, so like we have crossovers in Marvel and DC, we're going to see a Holy Cow Entertainment crossover happening in 2016, and you heard it here first at Mumbai Comic Con. Good stuff, man. There's a lot of interesting things happening. So once again, one final time for Vivek Goyal, for Holy Cow, for Ravanayan, and for Agori. Let's give a big round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.